Hey, comic book community, Lumbox Love Affair here with my Awesome Con haul. So I spent 3 days at Awesome Con. I am a mutant and proud through the Uncanny Experience booth. I got that badge from them. So Awesome Con, I really enjoyed it this year. They had some great guests. They've really been ramping up the guest list over the past couple years so that there's some real treasures coming in the door. Last year, Ramos was there, and I was able to get on his sketch list late. I was one of 5 people that day that got sketches because I think he only does 5 a day. So the talent is up a notch. So I didn't buy a lot of comic books. And full disclosure, Awesome Con is not a huge comic book con. It is a more pop culture. There's a lot of anime. There's a lot of role playing, D&D, gaming, lightsabers, Mandalorian parades, fudge. Everything was there, which I have opinions on, but I had a good time because I've narrowed my focus to not think about it as just a comic book con, but because it isn't, but more of an opportunity to get access to some really top tier artists that just are ripe for meeting. So I'm going to show off the books that I picked up later in this haul. It's not going to be a long haul, but I'm going to show you, if you haven't seen it on Instagram, I posted previews of these pictures. I'm going to show you the 3 sketches that I picked up. So I went in thinking I was going to get 4. And I'll tell you, the person that I didn't move forward with was Raphael Albuquerque. I decided not to spend the extra money. I was already spending enough, investing enough in these particular artists that I'm going to show you. And so the main reason I wanted to go to Awesome Con was Arthur Adams. I tried to get a sketch from Arthur Adams many years ago. I had forgotten about this until just recently. I was at Denver Comic Con maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. I was there early for a professional convention, and then realized Comic Con was there. My convention started on Monday, so I was able to come a day or two early and try my hand at getting FaceTime with Arthur Adams. He had a huge line, and I was there early on the first day, but still he wasn't interested in doing any sketching. He was just signing books, maybe doing a sketch or two. He had his lithographs that he was maybe sketching on the bottom. So I didn't get a sketch then. I'm a big Arthur Adams fan. Classic X-Men, all of his other stuff he's done, Long Shot, the list goes on. He is a seminal artist in Marvel Comics history, especially if you grew up in the 80s and early 90s. So struck out in Denver. Fast forward to last year in Baltimore, I was on his list, maybe 7th, and he didn't do my piece. I had asked for a Galactus, and from what I'm understanding now is he doesn't like Galactus. He doesn't like drawing him. There's a lot of time that goes into it. So he may not have chosen my piece because of that. So I struck out in Baltimore last year. So when I saw he was coming back to my area this past weekend for Awesome Con, I was like, perfect, I will try. And so talked with the facilitators at his booth. Sequence Art, I think is their name. And they said, he won't do Galactus, probably won't do Galactus, but you can ask. I was like, I did a last minute pivot. I said, what about Silver Surfer? And then I almost regretted it. And the reason I asked for Silver Surfer is I have 3 more books coming back from CGC that he did quick sketches on, including a Wolverine, which is what I would have asked for. So a Wolverine, Thanos, and a Dark Phoenix. So I didn't want to get duplicates of those, but I wanted a more detailed sketch. So I asked for Silver Surfer because I figured if he can do a detailed, glossy Silver Surfer, that would be awesome. But I got worried. I second guessed myself. I was like, is this going to be enough for him to put his signature Art Adams skill on? So let's see the final result. I am so happy about this sketch. This is amazing. It is different. You don't see people asking him to do Silver Surfer, and most of it is X-Men books, or he does Batman and things like that. So Silver Surfer seems to be a character that he hasn't done, or at least I haven't seen a lot of people request Silver Surfer, or anyone request Silver Surfer. The other artist that I was really excited to see come to my hometown was Mark Bagley. Now, Mark only does head sketches. I used to have a small Carnage head sketch on a blank, and I had sold it a while back trying to free up some cash, and I regret it. So I wanted to get another one, but I didn't really want just Carnage. And so when I talked to him, and again, there was no one at his booth. I was his first request of the day. And I was there at his booth maybe 15 minutes after the con opened. So I don't understand why he didn't have a line. He had a line later, but people just weren't there yet, or were still walking around. So I said, you probably get asked to do Venom a lot. So maybe could you do a Spider Carnage? And he's like, you can pick which one. I was like, no, like the character you created, the Spider Carnage amalgam. And so he took that. He got it done within like an hour or two, was able to pick it up, get it verified and witnessed, and it's off to CGC. So this is the book. This is a really cool, and it's big. It's a nice big head sketch. So really excited about that. The last artist that I've never seen come to my area or even to Baltimore Comic Con is David Mack. David Mack, famous for his Daredevil covers and interiors, his creation of Echo, and he has a very unique painted art style. I really appreciate it. Great guy to talk to, very personable. I said, I saw you did like a samurai profile Wolverine in the past for someone else, and I was wondering if you could do something similar. I was like, play with it, do what you want. But that's sort of my thought. And so he's like, great. He's like, I'll probably need like 2 nights to do this, or I'll have it to you by Sunday, because he asked how long I was going to be at the con. I was like, till Sunday. So I came back Sunday, picked it up. It was ready. It's a great piece. This is what he gave me. I love the dash of color in there. Now, I could have had him for a much more heavier price. I paid $500 for this. But for like over $1,000, I could have had him do watercolors and paints. And his watercolors are beautiful. His original artwork on his table was beautiful, but expensive. And ultimately, I'm not doing watercolors on the blank comic book covers because they warp. It doesn't present well. It's not an ideal situation, but the ink he used and the light coloring in this is really a nice touch and a really unique interpretation of Wolverine. And jumping back to what I said earlier about seeing someone else do something similar, that's a good way for me to get an idea of what a comic book artist's on-site sketch would look like. The comic book covers are often, or the comic book interiors are often highly produced. There's computers involved often. So want to make sure that their original art style is going to be something I'm still interested in that particular character. So I do a little research to figure out what kind of character I might want before. Art Adams was an anomaly. It was a game day change that panned out for me. It could have gone wrong, but it didn't, because he is an amazing artist. And so you've got to do your research to see what other sketches those artists have done to see if you are interested in that same character or style. So overall at the con, I only bought about $45 worth of comic books. I have 5 books here. So let me show you what I picked up. I picked up Revenge of the Living Monolith this is the Marvel graphic novels. It is one. There's only one. This is early Marc Silvestri artwork. I'm looking forward to breaking this open and reading it carefully. It's got that tight spine. It's a really nice condition book. It was labeled for 30. I got it for 25 because I packaged it with the next book, which was Amazing Spider-Man #1, the Alex Ross anniversary cover. This is the 75th anniversary of Marvel variant cover. I've never seen this in the wild, so I was happy to see this. It was $10. Pick it up. It's like, why not? And it's a nice addition to my Spidey collection. The last 3 books I picked up were from a local dealer who I don't get to his store too much, but was happy to find these books. I got all 3 for $10 total. Eternals books. So Eternals 13, 11, and 7? Yeah. And so these are first mentions and cameos of the One Above All, as well as, I think, Druid, the villain there. So was happy to pick these up on the cheap. Eternals has passed as a fad or as a hot book. So when I can find these cheap, I will pick them up. He had some other ones in the run, but I just wanted some of the keys that had first appearances. I'm really fascinated with the One Above All character. And so I think that is just something cool to look into. I will definitely look through these. I might not read them, but I'll definitely flip through these books. So there you go. That's my haul. Super excited about the sketches, if you couldn't tell already. The sketches are amazing. So thanks for watching. Look forward to showing you more content. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Love to hear what you have to think about this video. If you were at AwesomeCon, if you got a sketch or if you got an amazing find, whether it's comic books or otherwise, put that in the comments below. I'd love to know what other people found at AwesomeCon. And don't forget to check out my AwesomeCon show tour, or show floor tour, which was the video right before this one. So I did a video that just was footage from the show and my review of AwesomeCon. So check that out, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.